just let me know. Jolene like the song. We can do Jolene. So, to double reminder, Jolene is 1 red, green for a 4 power, 2 toughness. Whenever you attack with 1 or more creatures with 4 power or greater, create a treasure. And for 2 mana, she can sacrifice a treasure to deal 1 damage to any target. So she wants creatures with power 4 and treasure making stuff. And she can spend a treasure to deal a damage to any target, which is committing a crime. So that second ability works quite well with Magda the Hoardmaster, which is whenever you commit a crime, you create a tapped treasure. So I think Magda just gets straight in because you can use Jolene to spend 2 mana, sacrifice a treasure, deal 1 damage to any target. Because you then deal 1 damage to one of your opponent's things, either their creatures or their face, you then make another treasure. Which you work with the worm. The worm can definitely get in the deck. It is definitely a creature with power 4 or greater. So we can, currently we just have the Outlaws of Thunder Junction cards up. But we can jump straight through to the green cards. And where's our power 4 or greaters? We've got the worm. We've got the big spider. And we've got the Railway Brawler that I mentioned before, with whenever another creature you control enters, you put X +1/+1 counts on it, where X is its power. We've got Bristly Woods, which cares about committing crime, and is just a nice mana-fixing land. We've got the Locomotive, which makes treasures, and also would be a creature with power 4 when it's crewed. We've got Goldpan makes a treasure, and can also equip to give extra power, which could be nice. That'll get in for the moment. We've got when Giant Beaver attacks, while saddled, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature that's saddled at this turn. Could be good. Betrayal at the Vault is actually pretty nice, but is a 6-drop, so Free Strider Commander is pretty nice. We've got this creature who has plot, but also has 4 power, which is what we want, and cares about creatures with power 4 or greater. Whenever another creature you control with power 4 or greater enters, you draw a card. So that's good. Can we get the Old Faithful Badger? We can definitely put the Badger in. I don't know how doable it would be, but we can definitely have the Badger in there. That kind of is a dodo. And we do now have a couple of mounts in there. So we can definitely put the dodo in. If we're then putting the dodo in, we'll put in a couple of the other mounts that have 4 power. Like that one. The beaver's already in there. Ornery Tumblewag is an easy way to get to 4 power. Hard Bristle Bandit is a mana dork that also commits crime. So that's pretty good. Or cares about committing crime. Bristly Bill is a good way to get above 4 power. Gold Rush cares about treasures, so it makes a treasure and it does treasures. Hell to Pay does treasures. Iron Fist Pulverizer has 4 power. We've got Scale Storm Summoner cares about creatures with 4 power. There's another mount with 4 power. That's pretty good. We've got Great Train Heist again, makes a bunch of treasures if we need it. And then we can look outside of Outlaws of Thunder Junction for other... I can't remember how to do the shortcuts for this, so I might have to double check how this works. I do not remember how this works. There's a way to look up, like, oh, there you go. Advanced search terms, definition power. So power. Power more than 3. It doesn't have to be capitalized. Power more than 3. So these are all our creatures with power 4 or greater. And we'll just look through them and see if any care about treasures. Because we can then definitely chuck those in because they will do both of Jolene's things. Caring about treasures and caring about power 4 or greater. We've got a Concert Kaboomist. When it enters or is turned face up, it deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of non-creature spells you've cast this turn. Meh. Fear of being hunted is a hasty creature, must be blocked if able. This dinosaur beast, that means players can't gain life. We've got Horse Mount. With when it attacks, it deals 1 damage to any target. And if it was saddled and a creature was dealt damage this way, that creature perpetually gets this creature can't block, and damage isn't removed from that creature during cleanup step. So perpetual is an arena-only mechanic where it basically adds text to a card regardless of where that card goes. It's also a mount, so we chuck it in there. We're doing a mini mount sub-theme. We've got Obrask's Anointer. When it enters the battlefield, it deals X damage to any target where X is the number of permanents you control with oil counters on them. We're not really doing oil counters, so probably not for the moment. You may sacrifice another creature or enchantment. If you do, it deals 2 damage to any target. Big Dragon. Oh, it says the word create a treasure at the bottom. 5-drop Dinosaur Dragon for 5 power, 5 toughness. Flying, first strike. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. If you exiled a land card this way, create a 3/1 red dinosaur creature token. If you exiled a non-land card this way, create a treasure token. That definitely gets in. It's big, it evasions, it makes treasure, sometimes. We've got... Whenever War Beast of Gorgoth or another creature you control with power 4 or greater dies, amass Orcs 2. Cares about creatures with power 4 or greater. Atali Primal Storm is very good because whenever it attacks you just get free spells. Same with Trumpeting Carnosaur, it just does free spells. And then we get into the green side of things. We've got... Sorry, I should be tracking where I'm looking with my mouse. A boar that makes food. A plant rhino that perpetually gives an extra 2 mana and gets +4/+4 2 spells. A 3-drop 6 power. It didn't offend. I was doing a foof for being naughty. Assuming that's what you were doing. But don't worry. We're probably gonna throw this deck together and then play a game of it. And if you aren't back before we play the game, you can definitely watch it on the VOD. And hopefully you enjoy it. And I hope you have a good rest of your night if you aren't back before I finish. We've got... What else can we get in the deck? This dinosaur's pretty good. It gets us more mana, so it helps us ramp into all these big creatures. That cares about oil counters. We're not really doing that. We've got... I mean, Golter just lets us put all the creatures from our hand into the battlefield for free. And Rampaging Barloth just makes us more creatures with 4 power. And Quilled Great Worm is big. It's just a very good card. It is big. When this creature attacks, another target creature you control gains trample and +X/+X to end turn where X is its power. Whenever you expend 4, this creature gets +2/+1. I'm probably going to be expending 4 a bunch with all of these 4-power creatures. Roaming Throne, it picks a type. If I was more focused on one type, I would definitely put that in. I think we then go treasure. What stuff says treasure on it? We've got a bunch of little pirates that make treasures. Flip a coin, deals 1 damage to any target. You create a treasure token, draw a card. Ancestors A, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. Create a treasure. That's not bad. Scoundrel that makes a wicked roll, or creates a treasure, or discards a card and then draws a card. Buried treasure is a treasure. Gold Rush Pick makes treasures. Hit the Motherlode makes treasures. Brass's Bounty makes a bunch of treasures. Corvold and the Noble Thief. Step 1 is make a treasure. Step 2 is make a treasure. Step 3 is exile the top 3 cards of your target opponent's library. You may play those cards this turn. Nah. Maybe, but currently nah. Sword of Wealth and Power makes treasure. Definitely gets in. Okay, it does fill in lands. That's okay. I was going to be like, we're on 78 cards and I haven't even put lands in yet. But it's fine. It fills those in itself. Maybe we now do the not collected as well. And look at all the other things that we need that do treasure. Like this diamond pickaxe. Indestructible, a quick creature gets +1/+1, has whenever this creature attacks, make a treasure. That's very good. Beamtown Beatstick as well is +1/+0, has menace, and whenever an equipped creature deals combat damage to a player or battle, create a treasure. That's also very good. We've got at the beginning of your upkeep, you may create a treasure token. When you do, target opponent creates a tapped treasure token. When Generous Plunderer attacks, it deals damage to defending player equal to the number of artifacts they control. Yeah. Ooh, big spender. A hasted 2/1 for 2. Whenever one or more creatures you control becomes blocked, create a treasure token. Sacrifice 2 artifacts to draft a card from Big Spender's spellbook. I don't know how to look at what cards are in its spellbook. I do not know how to look at what cards are in its spellbook. I also don't really like cards with spellbook, so I'm probably not going to do that. Couple of creatures, when they die, they make treasure. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each non-token creature that died this turn. Can't attack unless you control 4 or more artifacts. It's also a creature with power 4 or greater. That's pretty good. Oh, Zorn is good as well. I have a bunch of rare slots. I could get both. If you would create 1 or more treasure tokens, create those tokens plus an additional treasure token. Zorn is very good. And Professional Facebreaker, I believe, is also very good as well. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token, sacrifice a treasure, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Currently, that is 3 rares that I'm spending on this treasure deck. But you know what? I'm okay with that so far. Goldspan Dragon. When it attacks or becomes the target of a spell, create a treasure token. Treasures you control have sacrificed this artifact. Add 2 mana of any one colour to your mana pool. That's pretty nice. Oh, the back side of Urbrask makes 3 treasures. I thought Urbrask didn't make treasures. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Why does he make treasures? Each opponent must attack you or a planeswalker you control with at least 1 creature each combat if able. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token. Yes. In Commander, it's bad. In this format, it's good. I mean, Ancient Copper Dragon is just a really good card. But for the moment, I don't want to spend my Mythic. Ooh, Garlic Raiders is really good. Whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield, choose 1 that hasn't been chosen this turn. 1 is create a tap treasure. There's another +1/+1 counter on it, which means it'll get to being a creature with power 4 or greater quickly. And then it's gain 2 life, which is nice. Tap to create a treasure. It's always good. Whenever a creature... I don't want to spend my Mythic, though. My Mythic, though! Ah, there's just so much treasure stuff. Whenever a land you control enters the battlefield, create a food or a treasure. Nice. Taps to make a treasure. Nice. Black Market Tycoon is always weird. It can tap to make a treasure. It's a 2-drop 2/2, and at the beginning of your upkeep, it deals 2 damage to you for each treasure you control. Which in this kind of deck is really bad. Invasion of Urgamot makes 1 treasure. Not really. No, not really. Stimulus Package. When it enters, create 2 treasures. Sacrifice a treasure to make a 1/1 white and green citizen creature token. Scry 1. Nice. Draw a card, discard a card, create a treasure. Not bad. In a deck where I don't really have a lot of card draw, that's actually pretty good. Okay, that seems to be all the treasure things. All the treasure relevant things. So now I want a thing with Oracle text that says power 4. So that it brings up a bunch of these sorts of things where it's like Wild Slash deals 2 damage to any target, but if I control a creature with power 4 or greater, that damage can't be prevented this turn. So like Ferocious stuff where it cares about creatures with power 4 or greater. Or like this Courageous Goblin, whenever this creature attacks while you control a creature with power 4 or greater, this creature gets +1/+0 and Menace. Or at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Not bad. Distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among your creatures. When Picnic Ruiner attacks while you control a creature with power 4 or greater, Picnic Ruiner gains double strike until end of turn. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until you exile another card with Ferocious end step. So with Ferocious Rise. So until your next end step. Not bad. An extra card every turn. An axe hardened by the forge. It has power equal to your devotion to red, so it starts off as a 2/3, but if I've got other red creatures, it could easily be a 4 power creature. And whenever Annex or another non-token creature you control dies, create a 1/1 red satyr creature token with this creature can't block. If that creature had 4 power or greater, create 2 of those tokens instead. That's pretty good. Makes my board go wide very quickly. I've got 10 slots left for things. We've got Sarkhan's Unsealing. Whenever you cast a creature spell with power 4, 5, or 6, Sarkhan's Unsealing deals 4 damage to any target. Whenever you cast a creature spell with power 7 or greater, Sarkhan's Unsealing deals 4 damage to each opponent and each creature and planeswalker they control. It's a very good card. We've got the Bristleback Sentry, who cares about us. Oh, actually, we want like the Elysian Caryatid, which taps for a mana of colour or taps for 2 mana of any one colour if I control a creature with power 4 or greater. The Nessian Hornbeetle, at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control another creature with power 4 or greater, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. We could also get the Crunch Wrangler, who does the same thing but has Trample. Does the same thing but better, but also has Trample. How many rare slots am I using at the moment? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm currently using all 5 of my 5 rare slots. I was tempted to get this, the Fanatic of Ronus, but I do not have a slot for it at the moment. But maybe it's just really good. So maybe I should make a slot for it. What are my options for taking out? Sarkhan's Unsealing is just really good. I can't take that out. Zorn's really good. I can't take that out. Professional Facebreaker, maybe. Gadrick. Gala Greeters. No, they're all really good. No. Sorry, friend, you don't get in. We can put the Briss back in for the moment. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Meh. Here we go. A bunch of these sorts of things. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. When this creature enters, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Creatures you control have trample. Whenever a creature you control with power 4 or greater enters, draw a card. Very good cards. Sacrifice a land, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, instead search for 3 basic lands, put them onto the battlefield, and then shuffle. At the beginning of your end step, choose 1, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, or create a 3/3 green raccoon creature token if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. Maybe, not really. Ruby is a 2-drop, 1/2, haste. When Ruby attacks while you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn, or taps for a red or a green. It's alright. It's not amazing. Or another creature you control with power 4 or greater enters, you gain 3 life and draw a card. If it dies, if it's not a token, you create a token that's a copy of it, except it's not artifact in addition to its other types. That's really good. Slinzer as well. Beasts you cast have 2 less to cast. Each other beast creature you control. Another creature with power 4 goes there, fights. The Challenger Troll, though. Each creature you control with power 4 or greater can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. That's just a really good card. Do we have anything here that really, really wants to get in? Add green for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. That's actually really good. Yeah, that's actually really good. Can't attack or block unless you control another creature with power 4 or greater. That's bad. At the beginning of combat, other creatures you control with power 4 or greater gain trample and haste until end of turn. That's not that bad. Landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under control, target creature gets +1/+1 to end turn. Then if that creature has power 4 or greater, it gains first strike. Leafkin is good. And that looks like that's the deck. I just stuck a bunch of treasure stuff and a bunch of power 4 or greater into the deck. We're going to stick the Arjani sleeve on the top. We go name the deck something to do with the lyrics of the song. Have mercy. Because I'm begging you, have mercy, Jolene. And then I craft the deck. 5 rares, 8 uncommons, 3 commons. Done. Deck crafted. We can then actually drop that, grab the land. Do a quick flick through of the mana base. Just my collected cards. Unless a player has 13 life or less. That's probably just fine though. Command Tower is good. Fatal Passage is good. Evolving Wilds is good. Escape Tunnel is fine. No, Escape Tunnel is good. The second part is irrelevant to us because we're not going to really have creatures power 2 or less. Commercial District is good. Rugged Highlands is good. Temple of Abandon is good. Terramorphic Expanse is good. He's good. He's good. We dropped a bunch of multicolored lands in to kind of fix our mana base, even though we're going to have a bunch of treasures. So our mana base is probably going to be fine. Okay. We now have Mercy. We're going to go into a brawl game, and we're going to have Mercy. And then after this game, we are probably going to call the stream there, because it is starting to get kind of late here. I did a lot more drafting and brewing than I thought I would today. I expected to just do the colour challenges and then leave it at that, but we ended up getting 3 whole drafts of... Yeah, 3 whole drafts of... Outlaws of Thunder Junction. My brain blanks there on what on earth I was talking about. Oh no, that's not good. We're playing against a Yarok deck, which is double ETBs. Sure, I can use that to grab a red. And then Gold Pan into a... or Magda into a Gold Pan into a plotted Railway Brawler. Should be fine. Should be fine. But my opponent goes first. They are deciding whether to mulligan or to keep their hand. And then I will do the same. I will keep. They also have the Elspeth avatar. God, I am getting tired. Instead of getting confused between avatar and portrait, my brain just completely blanked altogether. And just sat there thinking, ooh, they've got a fanatic. Drop this. Play Gold Plan. Which we're getting the treasure. Next turn I can drop the forest and plot my Railway Brawler. And then I can just, next turn, drop my Railway Brawler and start getting big creatures. Hopefully. Like a Jolene with loads of power. Like an 8/6 Jolene would just be really good. Plot the brawler. And they look at my plotted brawler and go, oh no. Oh dear, oh no. This could be a problem. Do you have a creature with power 4 or greater? Not yet. Do you have black mana? Because currently you're missing a colour. Okay. You do have a black mana, it just comes in tapped. Which is okay. Absolutely fine. One or more other creatures you control leave the battle without dying. Draw a card. Nice. Got that brawler. Then I'm going to play Jolene, who comes in and gets 4 counters. And I will stick the gold plate on my board. So I've got a 6/6 trample reach and an 8/6 Jolene. Jolene is ready to make treasure. Treasure. Okay, Wildwood Mentor. Whenever a token you control enters both +1/+1 counter when it attacks, another target attacking creature gets +X/+X by X. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah. Let's go with... Just put a little ornery tumblewag into the battlefield. It comes in and gets 2 more counters. And then a Magda into the battlefield. It comes in and gets 2 more counters. And then I go to combat. An ornery tumblewag puts a counter on a thing, like this railway brawler. And I just turn sideways and I make a treasure. Because I definitely am attacking with 1 or more creatures with power 4 or greater. In fact, I have a 7/7 and an 8/6. Yeah, Jolene, welcome back, Jay. Jolene is looking strong. This is turn 5. And I've got so much power on the battlefield, I don't really know what to do with it all. But Jolene does not trample. So Jolene is just going to get chump blocked by this little 1/1 tree. The railway brawler is going to hit for 7, and they could block with all of it. But that seems bad. They can also use this to bounce their own tree, which means they can then just replay it next turn. Jolene doesn't hit, but that's okay. Because I'm still getting them for 7. My turn. And then next turn I can play this Trumpeting Carnosaur, which will come in as a 14, 13, and will discover 5 when it enters. Thanks to having 1 treasure. I could alternatively use Jolene to deal 1 damage to a target something, which will then get me another treasure. But that treasure will be tapped, so I then won't be able to use that for the Trumpeting Carnosaur. It looks like they really need the card draw. Because they're bouncing more of their own creatures to their hands to draw more cards. With this little frog. It's a very delayed nice on my part, but that happens. Spelunking. Their lands now enter the battlefield untapped. And they get to put a land from their hand to the battlefield. And they play their land for turn. Very nice. Now they can replay one of those creatures they played last turn. Probably. Oh. Or not. They gave up. I did say I was only going to play one game, but that was very quick. So I'm going to play another game, knowing full well that this one is not going to be as quick, probably. We're gonna play another game. Gonna keep having mercy with Jolene. GGWP indeed. I love that little dancing lizard. Rave, lizard, rave! Yes, very strong for turn 5. The Railway Brawler is a disgusting card, but if you can't deal with it, it's just very good. Oh, this is not a great hand. If I can draw a third land, it'll be fine, because Gadrick will come down and then I'll start making... No, I won't. Never mind. Better. I got the Badger, I got the Zorn, I got Endage Restoration, I can Jolene. We'll start with a Fable Passage, and then we'll crack a Fable Passage for the Forest, which will then come intact. So next turn we can play a Mountain into Badger. Then the turn after we can play Mountain into either Jolene or Zorn. Or we just Entish Restoration. But we probably want to do one of the others first. Maybe we Jolene, and then we Entish, and then we Zorn. Yeah. Yeah, Entish Restoration. It goes and finds us lands. And if we control a creature with power 4 or greater, it finds us more lands. Oh. Perfect. Firstly, Jolene. Hello, it is Jolene. The Badger is going to sit for a moment. I hope Jolene gets to live. It seems like he will. Unless they play a shock, which they can Lightning Bolt. That also works. I will put Jolene back into my command zone. She now costs an extra 2. But I would like to see you Lightning Bolt this. I would love to see you Lightning Bolt this 6/5. 3 damage ain't gonna cut it here, bud. That's what I thought. Now I can Entish Restoration. I will sacrifice that mountain. I do control a creature with power 3 or greater, so I go and get a forest, a mountain, and another forest. Why not? I also sacrificed a forest, not a mountain. Brain wants to not work. I have no creatures in my graveyard. But maybe Badger just wants to attack. No, Badger does not want to attack. Worm wants to attack. Big Worm wants to get damage in. So in the Brawl format, you have your class. There's a little side. You have 100 cards in your deck, and you start at 25 life. That is a mean card. That's going to do a lot. But for the time being, I'm going to replay Jolene. And then Gold Pan to make a treasure. And then I'm going to attack with Big Worm. If they want to trade, they can. But I also have a treasure. Big Worm. I can... No, I can't. I would have to spend the 2 mana, and then I wouldn't have a treasure to sacrifice. But Jolene is back, because Entish Restoration really helps. Ooh, whenever you cast an instant sorcery, you make a 5/5 dragon. That's not good. I'm going to play Zorn, so whenever I make a treasure, I make another treasure instead as well. And then I'm going to play the Luxurious Locomotive. Use a treasure for that. And then Big Worm is going to attack. And I'm going to make 2 more treasures. So now I have a Zorn. Big Worm. Yeah, they're going to go for the trade. I'm okay with that. Nignizit is a thing that I need to get rid of. Do I want to go and grab a desert? Probably. I don't really have recursion in this deck, so I am going to go grab treasures. Use my treasures to go grab a desert. Because I have 1 desert in here. When it enters, it deals 1 damage, so they're now at 11. When it attacks, you create a treasure token for each creature that crewed it this turn. So I'm going to crew it with 3 creatures and then turn sideways with it. They make a dragon, their creatures gain trample, and then they draw a card. Yep. Oh, Thousand Year Storm is out. Nasty card. 4, 8, 9. So I can play both of these, then use all 5 creatures to crew this, and then turn sideways to make 10 treasures. I don't know what I'm going to use the 10 treasures for, but I can make 10 treasures. My turn. Ooh, pickaxe though. Littermonger. Giant Beaver. What creatures do I want to tap? I attack with the train. I make 2 treasures, then 10 more treasures. Wait. Create a treasure token for each creature that crewed it this turn. I should have more than that. Oh, I create 1 more. That's why. I created 2 and then I created 5, 6. That's okay then. It's not quite as busted. I still have 9 extra mana though, which is pretty good. They're going to trade it with a dragon. That is reasonable. I do not have enough mana to shoot that dragon to death. So I will accept my train's fate. And then play this diamond pickaxe. And I will put the diamond pickaxe on my badger. Do I have any creatures in my bin? No. The beaver. Beaver will get a pickaxe. This beaver will also get a gold pan. Yes. There we go. I have 5 treasures left, and I'm ready to die to many dragons. They make a dragon. Now they cast another spell this turn. They create a copy of the tune. So they draw a card and make 2 energy, then they draw a card and make 2 energy. Because Thousand Year Storm is kind of gross. Also their commander is now an 8/8 because it's got power and toughness equal to twice the number of instant sorcery cards in your graveyard. Do they have another red instant or sorcery, or do they just have all blue spells? So I can sacrifice 2 and a treasure to deal 1 damage to any target. I cannot do it twice, so I'm not going to do that yet. Yes, many dragons and many big, weird detective. But it's okay, because we can top deck that and that will work. I'll tap this to make a treasure. I will saddle my beaver with Jolene. Yep, it just got worse. Foof myself. Jolene gets a counter. Jolene makes me a bunch of treasures. Look at how many treasures I've got. And then I have this 6/6 beaver. And Jolene can just start throwing treasures at things if she wants to. Yeah, you can double block. But what if I aid it with the ancestors and then throw some treasures at your dragons? Yeet. And another. Yeet. Now, because my creature has 8 power and first strike, it kills both your dragons and does not even take any damage. Take that, dragons. My giant beaver killed 2 dragons, thanks to a little bit of some spare change with Jolene. Oh, when it enters, you tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap for as long as Dungeon Geist is on the battlefield. That would be really problematic if I couldn't shoot it for 3 damage. The alternative is, it is just a 3/3. I could just move both of these equipments over to something else. Like, I could just put them both onto my Stubborn Burrow Fiend and not be bothered by that anymore. I could just not be bothered by it. Ooh, nice. I do have a creature with powerful or greater, so I will play Garrick's Uprising, which will draw me a card. Land for turn. Let's move these over to the Burrow Fiend. I'd rather waste 3 mana moving stuff rather than 6 mana and 3 treasures to untap the beaver. I forgot to saddle it. Whoops. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be fine. Should be fine. Oh yeah, it'll definitely be fine. I make 4 more treasures when I attack. And I can tap this to make 2 more treasures. It's fine. I've got so much treasure. I've got more money than I know what to do with it. I forgot to saddle it, so I didn't get the ability. I'm very close to just shooting them to death with Jolene. They're only on 7 health. Prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to and by this creature. That's fine. I don't intend to deal combat damage anymore. I can also deal non-combat damage and just shoot you in the face. I could shoot your fog bank with Jolene. Moment of truth. Do I do it now? You make a dragon. You have cast an instrumental. Deal 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If excess damage will be dealt this way, conjure a card. So, 2. I don't think I can just kill them, but I can put a real attempt in. Oh, am I going to be 1 mana short? I might be 1 mana short. They accepted their death. I was going to be 1 mana short, but they accepted their demise regardless. Because it takes 3 every single time. Because it costs 2 mana and you have to sacrifice a treasure. We did it. They did a little disappointed dog emote of Arlen with a couple of werewolves just being like, oh no. And I just go, Jolene just walks in and uppercuts them into the atmosphere. I think we aptly named this deck. I wanted to pick lyrics from the song. Ooh, Captain Storm. They care about artifacts and pirates. But yeah, I wanted to pick lyrics from the song, and I picked Have Mercy. But she did exactly what she's doing in her artwork, where she uppercuts this person into space. And you just see their boots there. Did she have mercy? Not in the slightest. The first game, we dropped Where is he? Railway Brawler. And then every other creature that entered afterwards came in with double the power. So Jolene came in with as an 8/7, as an 8/6. And we had other creatures that were like 2/2s, but they came in as 4/4s, and my opponent just gave up. And in that last game, I wouldn't have just got there, but they wouldn't have really been able to hit me for much. And then next time I just play Jolene again and use the last bit of mana to do the last 1 point of damage to them. So I would have gotten there. But she has zero mercy. She just comes in, makes a load of treasure, makes massive creatures, and then uppercuts people and runs away.